opportunity for you to make your own views and opinions known about the stories that we would have dished out to members of the public, to our listeners. And yes, of course, networking with Okeogun 96.3 FM, Alaga, and Agility 92.1 FM, Gambari, Ogbomosho. Once again, the program is Conversation. My name is Bimbo Akombi, and yes, you can check us up on Facebook. You meet us there, BCUS TV. That means we are beyond the reach. Conversation is program headlines making the rounds. I have some headlines here, right here in front of me. And yes, Kebbi schoolgirls abduction. Yes, you can remember, you would remember that various abductions had, occurred in the past few weeks, past 2-3 weeks. There were reactions, there were actions taken at the same time as actions are being taken by the federal government, by the Nigerian military, by the Nigerian police, all other intelligence agencies. Well, abductions still continue. Now, the Kebbi schoolgirls abduction, Defense Headquarters summons grills soldiers in Abuja. There was one issue, one point that still baffles the government, talking about withdrawing soldiers 30 minutes before those abductors came, those kidnappers came, those criminals came calling and abducted the girls. Well, that is one headline there. The DHQ has summoned and grilled the soldiers. Yes, and I know what they want to ask them. I might know who gave that order that they should be withdrawn 30 minutes to the time that abduction took place. Well, we'll see how it goes. Now, banditry, terrorism are self-inflicted by North. That is according to the ACF chairman. I think it is the Iowa Consultative Forum. Yes, we all know that. Now, Southwest residents should prepare to defend themselves. That is talking about Sheikh Akeugbagold. We'll go through that in the course of this program. Kwara South suffers banditry because government has abandoned its responsibility. President Kwara Ekiti Indigenes, Professor Omotosho, and yes, he's saying that, and I know he knows what he's saying. He's a man of integrity. And, well, we'll still go through that in the course of this program. And Cardoso, 27 banks raise capital to meet recapitalization targets. Well, we'll still go through that too. And insecurity, Northern governors get 56 billion naira security votes. Well, the security votes, we don't really know how it goes. And no genuine Muslim will kill Christians, Islamic cleric, Eleha. Well, let's see. Guinea-Bissau coup, more painful. Yes, more painful than losing election to Buhari or Jonathan. Well, that statement looks somehow damning. When we come back, we'll give you details of these headlines that I have dished out to you. Don't go away.
Conversation. Conversation.
The program is still Conversation on Oluyole FM 98.5 right here in the city of Ibadan. Now we'll go straight to the details of the stories that I gave you the headlines earlier. All military personnel attached to the Government Girls Comprehensive Senior Secondary School, MAGA, in the Danko Wasagu local government area of Kebbi State, where 26 schoolgirls were abducted, are currently facing interrogation at the Defense Headquarters, Abuja. Saturday Punch as learned. An incredible senior government official told one of the Punch correspondent that the DHQ had begun investigating the sudden withdrawal, yes, like I said earlier, sudden withdrawal of military personnel from the school shortly before the abduction. Yes, and that was what I said during the start of this program, that I already know why these people, these military personnel, were invited and being screened, being scrutinized, being interrogated. Why? Who gave that order? Yes, who gave that order that they should leave that location 30 minutes before those schoolgirls were abducted? Now, a credible senior government official told reporters that the DHQ had begun investigating the sudden withdrawal of military personnel from the school shortly before abduction. Yes, I said that earlier. And terrorists stormed the school on November 17, killing the vice principal, Malam Hassan Makuku, before whisking away the 26 students. And I think one of the school or the students escaped. Well, Tola, like we always say, there is a they will say there is no smoke. There is no fire without smoke.
No smoke without fire.
So that is what is happening now. The DHQ is investigating why those soldiers just withdrew their their presence from the school before the abduction came place.
For the first time. This is happening for the very first time. These things have happened severally, where attacks happen. Even attacks on entire communities, where entire communities are almost wiped out by these evil men. And just hours before the attack, the soldiers, security operatives on the way to those communities are withdrawn. Security operatives guarding those communities are withdrawn. And despite the fact that intelligence reports, even the people of those communities would have been getting feelers and would have been reporting to the security agencies, nothing is done. And security authorities are withdrawn at the last minute before the attack happens. This has happened severally. people have cried out and no one has listened to them. The previous governments and even this government, it has happened even under this government, and no one listens. Those soldiers are never held to account. But because of the prodding by Mr. Trump, I presume,
yes,
this is why we're having this now, or a semblance of it. And I hope the DSQ truly gets to the bottom of this, and we ensure, like I always say, that it doesn't happen again. Well, I'm seeing this one here, Bimbo.
Yes.
The Arewa Consultative Forum,
yes.
Chairman is saying that boundary terrorism are self-inflicted by North, or whatever it means by that. And he says it's time to declare a war situation. I agree very much with him on that. And another attack on an immigration checkpoint. 3 officers killed in Kebbi. And go after bandits attacking Nigerians, Christian elders task federal government. Now, well, I wonder what exactly he means by it. There are too many ways to look at it. If you say it is self-inflicted by North, is it the northern leaders that have refused to facilitate development to their own region over the years? And one of the reasons that one of the things that emir of Kano, one of the things they spoke against that cost him his throne at a particular point in time. They said he was denigrating culture simply because he called out for the development of his own people. He called for education. He called for the abolition of the Almanjiri system. And they said he was denigrating culture, and that cost him his throne at that time. But then, so I don't know if that is what the ACF chair actually means. If he says that it is self-inflicted, the fact that development and the lack of education, which has been fueling this surge, the tendency of young people there to take to violence. And well, let's see. It says here, the chairman of the Arewa Consultative Forum, ACF, Alhaji Bashir Dalhatu, on Friday asked the federal government to declare a war situation in Nigeria. In view of the unrelenting insecurity in the country, the ACF who was answering questions on a TV program stressed that the North as a region was overwhelmed by banditry and terrorism. It is time for the federal government to declare a war situation, he said, while lauding what he described as the government's renewed onslaught against bandits and terrorists in the country. The other statesman admitted that the pervasive insecurity in the North was self-inflicted in view of the uncontrolled population of the North and its millions of out-of-school children. We have 15 million out-of-school children roaming the streets. If we had taken care of that, it would not have gotten out of hand, he said. So exactly
yes,
what I'm thinking.
Yes.
And population ideally should be a strength, not a weakness. It shouldn't be an albatross.
Yes.
But if a population is well handled, if it is well harnessed,
yes,
for the Chinese, their population is a strength. Even for the Indians.
Yes, Indians too. Especially the Indians.
So, well.
Former President Olusegun Obasanjo is in the news again. And yes, what he mentioned, his stance on insecurity, we'll let you know when we come back after this timeout.
Oyo State Golden Jubilee. Now, it's good 50 years since the creation of Oyo State, 1976 to 2026. Such great strides and monumental achievements. Expansive economic development that has confirmed Oyo State as a pace setter indeed. Infrastructural revolution, socio-cultural transformation, reinforced security and enduring peace, harmonious religious cooperation and collaboration, health, educational and agricultural reforms that has brought life more abundant to all citizens, beneficial and responsible governance in a new political agenda, first of its kind. We have reasons to celebrate. Let's give great kudos to our visionary and dynamic governor, Engineer Oluyole FNSE, for the renewal of Oyo State, making us proud even at 50. Further details of events in the Oyo State Golden Jubilee program shall be announced later. This announcement comes from the chairman, Oyo State Golden Jubilee Committee, Honorable Said Akande-Fijabi, and members. Rejoice, Engineer Oluyole, the Golden Governor, and all good people of Oyo State, as we celebrate this Golden Jubilee of Oyo State, the pace setter state.
Conversation.
Right, we're back, and the program is still Conversation on Oluyole 98.5 FM. Southwest residents should prepare to defend themselves. That's coming from Sheikh Taufik Akeugbagold, of the erstwhile chairman of the Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board here in Oyo State. Let's see what he has to say. Okay, it's actually a feature piece interview, full-length interview with the Sheikh, and well, he's saying, well, there was a question put to him that regarding Sheikh Gumi. Well, it says on bringing Sheikh Gumi to the Southwest, that controversial lecture, which was said to have been addressed by Sheikh Gumi. He says, personally, I have nothing against Sheikh Gumi. He is a brother in Islam. But his ideology is something I'm not comfortable with. I believe it was last year I called a press conference where I challenged him to cite a single verse of the Quran or Hadith where the Holy Prophet negotiated with terrorists or anything related during his lifetime. Nothing remotely similar ever happened. It was either someone was good or bad. He never stood in between. These terrorists are no friends to anyone. They kill Muslims, Christians, and even traditionalists. So the next question was that or maybe Sheikh Gumi is supporting the terrorists because they are Muslims, and there is this belief that a Muslim must always support a fellow Muslim. Well, Sheikh Akeugbagold says no. A Muslim must always support another Muslim if the person is doing the right thing, not the wrong thing. There are many hadiths on that. The Holy Prophet was quoted as saying, help your brother, whether he is being cheated or he is the one cheating. When the companions asked how they could help someone who was cheating, he said, tell him the truth, that what he is doing is wrong. That way you are helping him. Well, okay, so maybe some of these interpretations that some Muslims who don't have a proper understanding of the faith, maybe some of these misinterpretations has been the bane all this while, and need for proper understanding, and the evil men that are pushing young people to perpetrate evil up north, especially up north, in the name of Islam. They play on their ignorance, they manipulate them, and they make them do things that are not Islamic, because they themselves, they were never Muslims, and they are not Muslims. So, of course, they would want to manipulate others that are ignorant and have no access to education. That's why education is important. Education is not about Western education. Education is also about when being able to read a copy of the Holy Quran and actually digest what it says.
And understand.
And understand what it says. That is also education.
Now, former President Olusegun Obasanjo is again in the news, talking about insecurity still. He has rejected calls for negotiations with bandits, insisting that Nigeria must take decisive action and embrace international assistance to confront escalating insecurity. And he spoke at the Plateau State Unity Christmas Carol and Praise Festival held in Jos, the state capital, on Friday. And he asked the federal government to stop apologizing and negotiating with terrorists. Yes, and I support him. Yes, I support him for that. If it were President Obasanjo former President Obasanjo that was on seat now as president, is sitting president, I know he will not negotiate with terrorists. Yes, I know.
Well, there are those that are fueling the negotiations, including, well, elements within the government of the day. It's not because they think that negotiation is the right thing to do. Of course, they know it's the wrong thing to do. They know it's the wrong way to go about it. But because either ways, they are benefiting from what is happening. Look at the matter of the angle of involvement of solid minerals, illegal exploitation of solid minerals, going to a community, cause chaos, cause trouble, kill people in that community, make sure that they are not comfortable, they are not at ease, they flee their community. So that would give you access to their solid mineral resources. And those that are supposed to be the foot soldiers, I mean the terrorists that are carrying out these things, they are serving the interest of some people. They do not have the money to purchase AK-47 rifles.
Yes.
It is some powerful elements that are behind them. And of course, they hide under the garb of religion to perpetrate all this. So they will continue to encourage negotiations, because going all out against them would mean going all out against themselves, would mean them shooting themselves in the foot. And of course, when some of these elements are arrested, they could sing like a canary and then begin to mention names as to those who their sponsor, as to who their sponsors are. So that's probably why they will still be insisting on negotiating with it, despite the fact that over the years, how many years now that we've been battling this problem, and you have seen that these so-called negotiations and repentancy programs are not working. More and more of them are coming in.
Yes.
More and more are getting invited to the tea party, like I always say.
Yes, and because they know that they will get money, so they will continue.
And they will
with
work
this.
free.
Yes.
And they'll be able to gloat and say that the Nigerian government, they will laugh and they make fun of the Nigerian government, Nigerian authorities. They are not in hiding. That is the most annoying part of it, Bimbo.
Yes,
even if you must negotiate, at least we see these things. We see it in other climes. We see their documentaries. We see their films, Bimbo.
Yes.
Okay, let's say the films are not reality, but then we see the stories. We see it on their news channels, and if you are going to negotiate with these people, if you must negotiate for any reason, you'll see they'll be in hiding in a very, very, very remote place, and the people who will be going in there, they will be blindfolded. So that you cannot even find your way there again. So it's always very covert, and they don't rub it in the face of citizens and start celebrating as an achievement. I think these people should be ashamed of themselves. Each time girls are kidnapped from a school, they take them into the forest, then you negotiate, you bring them out, then you take them to government house. First of all, they go to the brigade commander, the governor hands them over to the governor, a full day of television cameras. The girls are well dressed, they begin to celebrate and clap, and they bring cameras, and then as if a major achievement.
And they'll take still pictures.
They'll take selfies,
yes.
and again we sit down and wait for the next incident to happen.
Yes.
Shamelessly, and they begin to celebrate that as if they've achieved something major.
And the security agencies will see it was them that retrieved them from the bushes where they were taken after being captured. So
the issue now is that the fact that what I said annoys me the most is the fact that these people are not in hiding. As if they have a secretariat, an establishment of their own. Like we have our BCUS, they have their own secretariats too. That they don't even have to be in the forest sometimes, Bimbo. So they just go there. We know, okay, I want to call one more. Okay, so the caller that said that we should establish an agency for negotiations, illicit negotiations for the release of kidnapped persons, and we should give that agency a director general, was very, very right on this.
Yes.
What they are telling us is that we have to live with this, that it's a reality we must live with. Okay, if you continue negotiating with them, okay, so what exactly is going to be the outcome of those negotiations? Are they going to promise to stop kidnapping? Are they going to lay down their arms? Are you going to persuade them to become good people? So you cannot invite, like I always say, you cannot invite a cobra into your house and try to persuade it not to bite. That is what it was created to do.
Yes.
So I don't know, or you want to persuade it to give up its venom, its poison. Without that poison, it's useless.
Yes.
So I really don't know, Bimbo. I really don't know.
Well, let's just see how it goes here. Negotiations. What President Tinubu said, former President Obasanjo, what he said, for government to be decisive, on this issue. Which one do we say is better? Is it to decisiveness, full-blown, attack on terrorists?
Full-blown war, Bimbo.
Yes.
We have tried that option you are talking about, and it hasn't worked. So must we continue to live with this? Must our children continue to be kidnapped? Must our children continue to be killed? Because some people up there, simply because their own children are not here, simply because their own children are not being touched, simply because their own children are not affected, they'll hide their children away in the choice capitals of the world and start telling us that we have to live with this. Oh, really?
And negotiating with them and giving them food, giving them money with their AK-47 rifles and other ammunitions.
And when you ask them about people in the IDP camps, whom these idiots have sent there, you start telling us that we don't have the resources to take care of those in the IDP camps, but you have resources to make criminals very comfortable to continue plying their trade. Kwara South suffers banditry because government has abandoned its responsibility.
Yes.
That's come from Professor Motosho, President, Kwara Ekiti Indigenes.
Yes, I know he knows what he's saying. Yes, the prof, he knows what he's saying. He's a man of integrity and he knows what he's saying. Now, talking about withdrawal of policemen, 100,000 policemen, the IGP earlier had said, earlier in the week, said 100,000 policemen will be withdrawn from VIPs. But about 2-3 days after, about 11,000, yes, were withdrawn. And I know, like I said, I believe that it might be in phases. Maybe that was the first phase. Now, talking about this protection, like Tola, you said people like Aliko Dangote, what will happen if policemen, security aides were withdrawn from him? You know, armed security men.
And there are quite a number of people like in that category too.
Just an example. Now, talking about protection now, VIPs turn to correctional service, NSCDC, private security firms. And it says here that police disown viral memo on withdrawal of officers. Well,
they also said it's not true that they withdrew officers from the Chief Justice of Nigeria.
Yes. And well, there is an upswing demand for the services of private security firms and the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps in the wake of this week's presidential order for the withdrawal of police escorts attached to very important personalities. President Bola Tinubu issued the order on Sunday as part of the broader effort to boost police presence in communities where security is currently deemed inadequate. Police Inspector General Kayode Egbetokun said on Thursday that 11,566 such police escorts have already been recalled. And investigations by Nation correspondent, across the country shows that the affected VIPs are now turning to private security firms and the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, for their personal protection and that of their families.
Well, many of them can actually afford the services of private security guards, bodyguards. But then I think those that have had their escorts withdrawn so far, like I said yesterday, are those the authorities consider expendable, the expendable VIPs. Well, killing someone like Alhaji Aliko Dangote would be an international embarrassment. And someone like Mike Adenuga, Otedola, and all that. So they cut across the geopolitical zones. We read a story yesterday, an attack on Dr. Chris Ngige's convoy. He was not in the convoy.
Yes.
Well, imagine if he had been in that convoy and he had no protection. He had no armed protection. Imagine what could have happened. But even despite that, one person was reported to have died during the attack, which was well effectively warded off by the armed men in this convoy. So in the circumstances, I guess some of these VIPs will be needing that protection. So that's why I said maybe they should look closely and see separate the chaff from the wheat. Those that are just using the armed police escorts to do buga, and those who actually need them, so that we avoid any unpleasant eventualities.
Now, you remember former leader of the Senate, Ali Ndume, APC Borno South. He has thrown his weight behind President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's directive ordering the withdrawal of police officers from very important persons, VIPs, insisting that the measure must be extended to members of the National Assembly. Yes.
Yes, I agree 100% with
Yes.
that. I was about to say that, Bimbo. And yes, there are VIPs too, but you know why? And then there may be some of them that may be targets of attack. But you know why I support this, Bimbo? You know, if this is done, and either the armed police escorts are withdrawn from them, or they have only what they are allowed to have within the ambits of the law. So, in the first place, they are supposed to be close to the people. They are supposed to be close to us. They are supposed to be our representatives. They are supposed to mingle with us. So it would allow them to see us better. It would allow them to mingle even closer with us. Then they would also do more. Once they know that they are also exposed, now that they are also exposed, it will make them do more about the security situation in the country. They will stand on the neck of the executive arm of government to do the needful, because doing so, protecting us, would also mean protecting themselves. But if they continue to be insulated from these attacks, well, I've hardly, rarely do you hear that a senator walks right into the scene of a terrorist raid on a community, and their communities get raided regularly, particularly in those troubled areas, and the senators are never at home when these things happen. Dictator for the House of Representatives members, and you never hear that their convoy was waylaid. So. And even in occasional instances when this happens, they have the armed escorts with them to ward off the attacks. But now, if they know that, like I said, if they know that they are now exposed, just like we are, so they would want to do something concrete about the current mess in which we have all found ourselves.
Now, that means the former leader, as a former Senate leader, for a leader of the Senate, yes, Ali Ndume, he must have police escorts too with him as a former Senate leader. That means his escorts too must be withdrawn.
That's what he said. Probably he has that confidence that when he goes among his people, that they will not turn on him. And if they turn on him, his people will form a shield around him and protect him. The ideal, that is the way it should be. We should be able to love our senators that much, and they should be able to love us that much too, to drop all their armed guards and come mingle with us. That is that is the way it's supposed to be. Not that they will now be on their eye us, and when we complain, they will say we are rabblers, they will say we are troublemakers, they will say we are blaming them for all the woes of the country. They will say that how much are they earning that we want. They will say we are insulting them when we tell them that they are riding big cars at the expense of the people, and they will defend it by saying that the roads to their constituencies are bad. That is why they have to ride in the very best of imported vehicles.
Well, like you said, that yes, talking about withdrawal of policemen from very important persons, and now this one here that I'm saying, the police is disowning a memo on withdrawal of officers from Atiku, Wiki, and other officers, yes, serving officers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And the police here is responding, and it said yesterday that to that report that they denied that they had withdrawn officers attached to some high-profile individuals. Said there was no such decision, and the report had claimed that a mobile Force 50 squadron in Kubwa, Abuja, issued urgent instructions for personnel assigned to VIPs, including former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and Nnamdi Sambo, Nyesom Wike, Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, former First Lady Aisha Buhari, Kudirat Kekereekun, Chief Justice of Nigeria, and Ogiame Atuwashi III Oluyole, to return to base by Thursday, November 27. Well,
But there's this one happened in Ibadan. Man's inhumanity to man. Our Okada rider who sought help from friend was murdered in Ibadan. In Ibadan, Oyo State, the quest for improvement on the living condition of a motorcycle rider, Jamiu, turned catastrophic on Sunday, November 16, as he was allegedly murdered by two suspects identified as Taiwo, popularly known as FM, whom he regarded as boss and elder brother, and his partner in crime, who is popularly known as Lucky Star. The incident, according to information gathered by Saturday Tribune, occurred at Okperede village via Sakula Road, Idianyure, Ibadan. Jamiu's body, stripped to his white boxers, was found in the bush, while his white t-shirt soaked in his blood and tied around his head to blindfold him. His pair of trousers was thrown in front of him, slightly covered by grasses. His head was found smashed with a big stone. Now, Jamiu, 830, a resident in Sonyo area of Ibadan, was plying Songo to Molete, Idiarere, when still alive. He was reportedly taken to his place of death by 2 suspects on the pretext of going there to swear to an oath after he was deceived into believing that he would be loaned 2 million naira to start a business. Information that Jamiu, a commercial motorcyclist, was friend to FM because they were both Okada riders and used to be together at their park, and FM was said to be a little older than Jamiu and was seen as a would-be benefactor when his lifestyle changed after he left the motor park. Well, his lifestyle changed because he went into crime, and poor unsuspecting Jamiu was lured into their trap. Oh, very, very sad. Our Okada rider who sought help from friend was murdered in Ibadan. And and the FCTA, Federal Capital Territory Authority, begins enforcement actions on revoked 1,095 properties. I guess that's Mr. Wiki at it again. And on insecurity, involved traditional rulers for lasting solution. Ekiti Monarch urges government. On alleged fraud, EFCC invites Buhari's AGF, Abubakar Malami. Oh, Malami, a long time no see. He has gone dark. Except the last time we heard of him, they said he was preparing to run for the KB governorship seat. Now he's been invited by the EFCC. Remember Abubakar Malami, Buhari's Attorney General. Very outspoken individual.
Now, this one says, Fleet 38 Kwara church worshippers still held in Ilori. Well,
that is. I thought they said they are secured, they are released.
Released, yes. Well,
so who is holding them?
Still held.
Freed 38 Kwara.
Yes, let me just. Yes, Freed 38 Kwara church worshippers still held in Ilori.
Maybe they are debriefing them to ensure that they don't talk too much when they are freed.
Yes.
Maybe that's the idea.
Yes, I think it is the Kwara state government. Yes, they are yet to release the 38 abducted members of the Christ Apostolic Church, Shegun Eruku, Kwara State, who regained their freedom last Sunday to their families. Findings by the Saturday Punch revealed, and it was gathered that worshippers were being kept in an undisclosed hotel, and said that after completing medical examinations, paid for by the state government, I think they are under, under watch after medical scrutiny.
I may be wrong, but that's what I suspect. Maybe they want to ensure that they debrief them to make sure that they don't talk too much. Especially regarding issues of possible complicity on the part of the authorities regarding this, regarding their experience and the things that they have seen. So, well, like I said, my thoughts here, I may not be right, but I believe because if they are on oath and fine, medical examination, very good. And so how long will it take after the medical examination and the observation? And I guess they are also enjoying themselves at the expense of the state government.
Now, before we go to the world of your matrimonial oddities, yes, I have this one here. Enugu arrests groom, parents, in-laws, others marrying 13-year-old girl, and they are saying, we married her for our only son.
Oh, okay, if they are doing that, that's why I say, sometimes when people say there are two sets of laws in this country. Northern Nigeria, where this happens all the time, where this happens every day, where would a senator, a former governor, who married a 13-year-old
girl,
and nothing happened. So why are they placing these ones under arrest and nothing happened? It happens all the time in that particular part of the country. It is their way of life. It is a new normal. I mean, not a new normal, something that has been normal right from time immemorial. And I remember the other time when they were trying to legislate against it, and the northern senators were very vehement, saying that they were trying to tinker with their culture and their way of life.
I think
so which law allows them to arrest these ones, and those ones up north cannot be arrested?
But the ones that you said now that happens in the north, I think the government was trying to prevent VVF, vesico vaginal fistula. That
they are not doing anything
that
about
always,
it.
That always, contract these teenagers that
Bimbo,
are being married.
VVF that you are talking about, it is concerned international aid organizations and concerned NGOs that carry out these projects. And very often they get into trouble with the local folks, with the local authorities, with the local people, who sometimes even attack them for trying to save these innocent ones from the scourge of VVF.
Well, anyway,
they should go and sit down. If they cannot do anything about what is happening up there, then they shouldn't touch anyone
here
that decides to. Yes, I'm vehemently and seriously against underage marriage, but then justice and implementation of any laws against underage marriage should not be selective.
Yes.
Don't we run the same law?
Yes, of course. We know. I too don't support underage marriage, but they are talking about the health implications there now. But like you said, it has always been happening up north, and nothing has been happening to those situations then.
They're now making noise out of this. At Ibadan court, my wife of 29 years now sleeps with landlord. Other men in our neighborhood. That's coming from the husband. He shouldn't complain because he abandoned me after getting new wife. But after 29 years now, go to Farada. And okay, let's see. Also, my husband shows me no affection, owes me 100,000 naira, says wife. I agree to divorce. Also, my wife sold my property after giving her money for business, says husband. And then I live like a widow because my husband refuses to work. He smokes, drinks all day. At all. Let's open the phone lines. Our first caller here.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Tola, Mr. Bimbo.
Good morning, Mr. John.
John calling from Ilorin.
Good to have you.
I think I quite agree with Baba Akewu Bagod that says community in the south west should prepare to defend themselves. You see, the man is right. If there are many ways you can defend yourself without carrying arms by being proactive. Mr. Tola, Mr. Bimbo, something happened in my own town whereby the Ogorians are majorly educationists. But it got to a stage we started having some bad boys, and most of the leadership in Ogori decided to be sending them to where they felt they belong. Some in Lokoja prison, some in Kotokarufi prison. But it got to a stage whereby a particular boy was arrested. That boy was very instrumental during the communal. Now caught my attention. What I did was to contact Ogorians, both home and abroad, that come, we will endanger our town if we say because these boys are bad boys. That is the point I was trying to bring out when my friend Mr. Jide said he disagreed with me the other time. What I eventually did was to submit a proposal that, look, let's bring this boy, let's find a way to make sure they have something doing. Perhaps we give them something little at the end of the month. By today, my brother, these boys, some of them were withdrawn from prison. These boys now mingle with even the Fulani, make friends with them, so that they will be able to identify the new faces that are coming in. Today now, they call most of our forest. You see, we can't just, that's why I said then even these bad boys, politicians use them. They only imprison them when they felt they don't need them again. They are good boys during politics, bad boy after politics. These boys should not just be wasted. They can be useful to each community. Find a way to make sure they are engaged and stipends are given to them. Libya do this. Gaddafi do this to the youth who are not ready to work. Gaddafi did it. Enjoy your day. Good morning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. John. But at least in the case of that boy you mentioned, you also made him to understand that there are consequences for wrongdoing. He was sent to jail initially, and he was brought back and made to understand that we want you to do good, and if you decide to do bad, there will be consequences. Our government is telling us that crime does pay. Our government is patting crime on the head. Our government is telling us that crime is right.
Yes.
That is what they are telling us. In that particular case, the boys were. That is what rehabilitation should look like. He served his time, and you also made him to understand that he must not go back to wrongdoing.
Yes. Yes, 0055 009 Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Genesis. I'm from Akwara, sir.
Good to have you.
All right. Then I want to just have some issues of withdrawing a policeman from the very important in Nigeria. You know, it's very difficult for them. The way Nigeria is going now, these people, these important people like vice president, former vice president, minister, to withdraw the policemen from them. Right now, the way Nigeria is going now, it's going to very difficult for them in this country. Look at now, we heard that they attacked a former minister of the labor. Number. So, some people hate these very important people. So, to withdraw policemen from them is bad. Instead of that, Nigeria should recruit a new policemen and another security agency to develop to help us in this insecurity that we are facing now. So, to withdraw it from them is very hard for these people. So, on what Obasanjo said, it's a right thing. We cannot negotiate with the party or Boko Haram or other parties. He said we should collaborate with the international community to come and help Nigeria to eliminate these people. Thank you.
All right, thank you. 070 5555 1985 080 5500 9850. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Tola.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, I now understand Mr. John now what he was trying to say. Well, but I still believe that government has the bigger percentage of doing this thing. In Ghana, when these people started all this nonsense in Ghana, the president of Ghana gave the Ghana police authority, not even soldiers, police, 21 days to wipe them off. And they wipe them off because just give them the director that I don't want to see them in my land again. But Nigeria is a very complex place. We all play politics with everything. Everybody will be. You see the government of Katsina and Kwara now trying to. I believe what you said, Mr. Tola. That is what they are trying to do, so that they will not. They have people around. So that's just it. Then on the issue of withdrawal of police officers from very important persons. Now let me tell you something. In US, Jay-Z from New York, he's a very big boy, a very rich musician, a billionaire. Now, have you ever seen an NYPD, the New York State Police Department, parking their cars and following him around? No. Or his wife, Beyonce, or any of the top stars in America, the fourth person, the Kobe Bryant and all that. No, you will not see them. Police authority escorting them around. What you see is private security operatives employed by them. These guys in Nigeria, they have the money to employ private security. Let them go and employ. Go employ private security. Leave the police for the people to man the people's security. So why are you behaving like this? NGRT guys, we have security. Fuji guys, we have security. Have you seen NYC guys have security before? They had that one in Lagos. 12, I saw 12 that day. 12. He lost one. following him. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, also hiring policemen as security escorts also doesn't come for free. But I think it's much more about the training and the expertise that the policemen actually have. That's why the preference for them.
Hello, good morning.
Mr. Tola, Mr. Bimbo.
Good morning.
Just calling back, please. You see, withdrawing police from the VIPs, we are not saying they should totally be withdrawn. That's not what we are saying. Some VIP move with 10 policemen. 10 policemen. Who did you offend that much? That you can't move with 2 or 3? Who did you offend that much? So there is nothing wrong. Even let me share something with you. Dangote did not move with heavy security. Despite the threat here and there. He never moved with heavy security. Go and cross-check that fact. He never. So what will someone look my own dad? There was a time he was having 4 soldiers in his compound. I withstood him. I told him, you are retired with Obasanjo time. What are you doing with 4 soldiers? What are you doing with 4 soldiers? My father eventually agreed with me and withdrew and left just 1. What did you offend? I want to kill you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. John.
Yes, we'll squeeze in one more call. Very quickly.
Also, we'll do 5555-1985. And do it to 5500-985. One more call for you.
Well,
all right,
in the absence of that, I think we have to go.
And the time is fast spent, and we'll be back same time Monday morning, God willing. My name is Tola Teriba.
And my name is Bimbo Akonbi. Thank you very much for listening. Enjoy your weekend.